Hey, it's Tara. I have another swap process video for you guys. I signed up for a swap on SwapBot that was to take a picture, cut it up into little squares, and then put it back together on a postcard. So I grabbed some images from my stash. In the image, once you cut it up, you put it back together in a random order, so you're kind of creating new art out of art. So I grabbed these images. I didn't end up using all of them. And then for my postcard, I'm just using these watercolor blank postcards. And to glue it down, I'm using the little sponge dealy guy and some Podge Glue. And the other supplies I used were my ruler, pencil, scissors, and my terrible paper cutter. And so the first image I'm cutting up is this stamp image. I really like the colors on it. And of course, you know, it's a postage stamp, so that makes it like 5 times better. So to begin, I'm just cutting off the rough edges. That way I have a nice clean edge when I'm doing the measuring. And again, I kind of cut it 2 sides so I didn't have like excess on the other side. So I measured out 8 inches across. I'm not sure why I came up with 8, but it seemed like a good idea, I guess. So I just did that. And then I cut off the excess on that side. And then just really measuring it out. For the swap, it's suggested using 1-inch size squares or larger. I guess anything smaller than 1 inch is kind of a very tedious process, and really even measuring this paper out into the 1-inch squares was very tedious, and since I have a really terrible paper cutter, it kind of made that process a little bit more annoying. So I just, to make it easy on myself, I did lines for the squares. That way I could have like as straight as possible squares, even though my paper cutter is no good, very bad, and doesn't cut a straight line. I'm pretty positive that it's like impossible to get a straight line on my paper cutter. Anyway, so I did that to the best of my ability and with the tools I had on hand. And then to finalize the squares, I used my scissors just because it was going to be a lot easier to do it by hand rather than running each little strip through the paper cutter 4 or 5 times. So I would definitely suggest that if you're doing this. Scissors make that process a lot easier. And then here's the little squares. For whatever reason, I decided to mix them up. Like I was incapable of doing that while I was putting them down. I'm not really sure my thought process there. And then I just turned them all right side up so I didn't have to worry about that. And here I am just going to lay it out how I want it on the postcard. I was also curious. It seemed like a lot more squares than I anticipated. So I was curious if it would fill up the entire postcard or if I would have extra. And as you can see, I definitely had some extra. I had enough to make even a second postcard on this one, on this image. So I didn't want to send that one for the swap because I wanted to use just one image, one postcard, not have to just, yeah, one image. So for these ones, these are just kind of extra ones that I made, and I actually do want to do a giveaway for you guys. So if you comment below, you can just comment whatever, I don't really care. And let me know that you're interested in maybe receiving one of these postcards, and I will hold a little giveaway and pick somebody, 2 people actually, to send these postcards to. So the gray image here was also a postage stamp, and I cut that up, and that's the one I used for the swap. And to make the postcard, I just used the Podge Glue and the sponge thingy, and laid a layer of glue down, and then I put each square on the postcard by hand on top of the glue to stick it down. So really easy process. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of, you get a really unique image, and it's not really anything like amazing, but it's also just a fun little thing to do. And if you have a bunch of larger images that you don't really know what to do with, and they're kind of just like backgrounds or patterns, I think it's a fun little thing to create some mail art for somebody. So, you know, it's a cool thing to have up your sleeve if you're feeling feisty and want to make some mail art, but you aren't really sure what to do. And you don't need a lot of supplies to do it either. It's very simple. So I am almost done pasting those little squares down. And then after I put everything down, I wanted to add another layer of glue on top because I just wanted to make sure it would hold up when I sent it through the mail, because I was just sending it as a postcard, not in an envelope or anything. And I wanted to make sure none of those little squares came off. So that's a finished postcard that I sent to my swap partner. And then these are the finished postcards that I'm going to be using for the giveaway. So like I said, if you're interested in receiving one of these postcards, just comment below. I'm going to pick 2 winners, and yeah, good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.